So I want to talk about the changes that I'm going to be bringing to the channel starting this month. And I tried to record this video yesterday on my Insta360 Ace Pro 2, but somehow between transferring it from my device to my phone, the audio got messed up. So I had to record this video again. For all those that don't know, when I was younger, I used to be heavy into bicycling. This one summer back in the year 2000, I was sitting on my grandmother's step and I was working on the bike that I received from a friend. His mom gifted him a new BMX bike. It was a new Mongoose that he got for his birthday. So he gave me his secondhand one. And I'm working on the inner tubes because the back tire was flat. I was working on the chain as well because the chain was a little loose. Me and my brothers be outside talking. One of our friends pulls up and he said, "Yo, what y'all doing this summer?" I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Yo, how do y'all feel about going downtown? We like taking a ride to Center City and back." And I was like, "We don't have no bus money. We don't got no train money. We don't have a car. How we going down there?" So bikes, my boy, bikes. And at the time, it was exciting. At the time, it was the most exciting thought. I forgot to realize that we be doing a whole lot of pedaling. We would have to do a whole lot of pedaling. As we were getting ready to go, you know, I had a friend of mine who had bottles of water in his backpack. I had another friend who had snacks in his backpack to keep us, you know, full for the ride and keep us hydrated, especially because it was like close to like 80 something degrees, 87. You know what I mean? It was 85, but it felt like 87, close to 90. So we wanted to make sure we stay hydrated. We all hop on our bikes after checking them to make sure, you know, the tires are aired up, the brakes were working properly, because you'd have to just keep riding, you know what I mean? Some of my friends, they were riding in the street, right? Cutting off traffic. I wasn't about that life. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay on the sidewalk because, you know, I don't wanna get hit by a car or a city bus. Your boy is not about that. But now, fast forward in time, now that I'm close to 40, I wanna get back into cycling. It's been something that I've been very passionate about. I'm subscribed to a couple of cyclists here on YouTube. One is Maddie Active. Another channel is Bike's Breath. They've been inspiring me to get back into cycling, man. Bicycling, crazy. You know what I mean? And I already have a daily commuter lined up. That's what's crazy. Like I already have my daily commuter all lined up. And one of them, and I know this is gonna sound hectic. This is gonna sound crazy. The very first bike I have lined up for my daily commuter is a fixed gear. I have that and a single gear. And I have a reason for that. That's because where I live, there are no hills. It's all flat surface, all flat terrain, for miles upon miles to where you need to go and get back. And that's where it comes in handy. If there were hills, I would probably still get a fixie. You know what I mean? Because my friend of mine, he had a fixed gear bike and we enjoyed riding that bike from North Philadelphia all the way back to City Hall and back. Because what me and my friends would do, we would alternate our bikes. Like we would switch bikes every 6 blocks. You know what I mean? To keep our legs, you know what I mean, relaxed a little bit, we would switch bikes. But the best bike I've ever ridden was a fixie. It took extreme amount of leg power, but it was very quick. It was absolutely quick. But another reason why I want to get a bike as a daily commuter is because you miss sights like these, man. Look at that. Beautiful river. Beautiful river, man. And you don't get to see that when you're in your car. You don't really get to see the sights when you're in your car. You just driving from point A to point B, point A to point B, point A to point B. And it uses a lot of gas. And I'm gonna be honest, driving that, it's an 8-cylinder, right? It uses a whole lot of gas. I'm talking about I at least gotta put $65 a week in gas to fill it up. And if you do the math on that, that's a whole lot of gas. So I have to figure out something that's gonna work a lot better than using an 8-cylinder sedan for work every day. I only work like 3-4 days a week, but still, you know what I mean? That's a lot of gas, especially when I gotta take my son to work or my wife has to take my son to work. She gotta go to work, you know, all on one car. It's a lot in gas. So me and my wife, we sat down, we talked about it, and she wants to get an e-bike. She saw an Aventon. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but we went to our local bike shop. Major shout out to Epic Bikes, by the way. And she saw an Aventon and she tried it out. It was their beach cruiser. And I was scared that thing was gonna fly out of my hands because the throttle kicked in kind of heavy and I was like, whoa! you know, so I was like, nah, manual bikes it is for me. Your boy ain't about that life, you know, but she's interested in getting a bike. I'm interested in getting a bike, and really getting out here and enjoying it. I'm gonna be vlogging the experience along the way so you guys can join us on that journey. I just want to say thank you guys for 970 plus subscribers. God bless you guys so much. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. It's crazy, y'all. It's absolute crazy. I know I haven't been that consistent, and I've been taking a little bit of time off for me and my family. So I ask that you forgive me for that. But now that I'm back, like I said, I'm gonna be bringing that bike content for y'all, you know, that bike vlogs and everything. And I already had some custom builds lined up that I'm gonna be showcasing as well. I'm back on the Action 4, and that's simply because, for one, the files are smaller when I'm converting them from my action camera to my smartphone. So, and it's a lot easier to do so than on my Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Don't get me wrong, I still use my Ace Pro 2. I love my Ace Pro 2, but I'm gonna be back on this little action camera, especially for my bike vlogs. But anyway, I love you guys. I thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope y'all have a beautiful and blessed weekend. God bless. See you on the next one. Peace.